So this is our project management presentation. We are Group 11. The purpose of the final report is essentially just to bring up the details and the finalized conclusion of our ongoing project at City Hall. With the executive summary, we essentially sum up the entire report about the budget, the scope, how we purchased everything, in general, just how the project went, and what we did and how successful it was. Our cover letter essentially confirms with the client that everything went well, and it's kind of like a thanks for dealing with us, we love you, please use us again, everything went great, etc., etc. It's basically there just to close with the client, and that's what we did. With our assumptions and constraints, we actually did really well. The only thing we were really worried about was the scope, because with 2,500 essentially PCs and office updates, any addition to the scope increases, well, another 2,500 things to do. So we worked and stayed narrow on that, and we just stayed clear with what we had to do. Our time was something else we worried about, but we managed to save time by hiring some good staff. Our weakest constraint we felt was the budget, as we felt we were given a lot of money to deal with, and we came in under budget quite a bit.
Scope. In this section of the document, the scope of our project is outlined. The solution to implementing the project is to first assess and evaluate the current computer network situation with that client. This will give us numbers for how many computers must be bought, as well as the standpoint on software and licenses. We will begin by moving into the workplace and replacing, upgrading, and initializing the new computers. This process will have to be orchestrated around the council's less busy periods to minimize disruption. As this is a large project worth $3.5 million, it will be profitable to focus NAIR exclusively on this contract, and foolish to delay it in any way, as it involves local government that may provide opportunities in the future. Deployment plan. Our deployment strategy is early, successful planning, and is essential to the overall success of the project. Due to occasional role changing and budget overruns, and some milestones not being completed on time, project cost slippage occurred and was documented for further analysis and future project reference. Schedule and time management. Schedule and time management is broken down into four main components: network diagram, duration estimates, milestones, and project schedule. Milestones. Our milestones are outlined in the table in the section Milestones. Project schedule. In addition, our project schedule is also outlined in our documentation under the heading Project Schedule. Dependencies. Our dependencies are shown in the network diagram under the heading Dependencies.
Cost and budget management. The total budget for this project was $3.5 million. We believed it was possible to accomplish the project with less, and we were successful in doing so. The critical path and the crashing that we estimated for reflected that we could sustain overruns. And the bulk of our budget was for training and the use of the new hardware and software, as well as purchasing it. Here we'll just go over some of the network diagram and some of the milestones and how much money it was to complete them. At the beginning we had scheduling, beginning IT training, curriculum development, and that was $130,000. Then we had setting up the infrastructure and the formal training of the staff with another $370,000. And then we had the beginning of developing our image that would be deployed to clients and listing the various incompatibilities and attempting to resolve issue. This is a significant step at $420,000. And the next milestone after that is upgrading the existing hardware if needed, and there's foreseeable that there could be a lot of this, so that our budget was $365,000. And the next three milestones were entailed with deploying the actual images, purchasing the hardware, deploying the hardware, and this is a total of $1.47 million, bringing our optimistic total to $2.7 million, or $2,755,000 actually. The remainder of the budget is reserved for crash tasks that overrun and cost more money. This chart here shows how many days of delay are allowed and how much money is going to cost us for delays in different tasks. Now, moving on to quality management. The actual product we were delivering will be tested and repeatedly. We're aware that compatibility issues are common in IT, and the budget reflects that. Especially during the earlier and final stages of development and implementation, more time crash is budgeted for critical path events. Quality management continued. Software and hardware testers will be employed to ensure a quality product. The total amount of funds for quality management was $905,000.
Human resource management. There are different human resource needs at each phase of the project. Administrators and help desk technicians needed to be involved throughout the whole project, while consultants were needed in the middle of the project and remained to the end. Certified instructors train the staff throughout the development, and quality assurance staff is needed at the end to ensure quality and stability of the new upgrades. Here's just a table that breaks down the role's name, pay rate, task, and work hours. Risk management. The three main risks that could impact the project are time, cost, and quality. The diagram on the next page breaks down the probability and potential impact of risks from high, medium, or low. The biggest risk is associated with the project would be scheduling around the implementation phase. And here's just a risk register that breaks down each risk.
The handoff process. The handoff process is fairly straightforward since all systems are fully up and running and image development is complete. In-house, it should continue to make adjustments to deployment images until a stable one is found for each profile. Deployment has finished, and internal help desk need not worry about further deploys, only retention of additional hardware models for backup hardware. The conclusion. This project management plan addressed all potential constraints that are present in the planning, duration, and exiting of the project. All appendices included are for in-depth analysis, and they can be used for further charting, diagramming of any key information areas that the City of London require. This project management plan is not a static entity. It is subject to continuous changing throughout the life of the project and even after project completion.